Hey guys, back to our typical monthly format. Try to be done under 5 minutes. Quickly discuss a bit of Australian economic news, US, global markets, a little bit of Asia, and of course, no conversation would be complete without an update on COVID. And obviously, it was budget week here in Australia. So, in April, back on the 6th of April, I think it was, we kept our prime rate interest rates as they are now at 0.1%. Inflation remains below 2% expectations, I should say, for 21 and 22. There was a momentary rise to 3%. I believe that's on the back of pandemic price cuts reversing and that obviously impacting inflation just very short term. Business confidence has eased slightly but remains high. April, travel reopened again between Australia and New Zealand. To give you context though, arriving in Australia over April per month around 30,000 arrivals, departures at around 40,000. Typical numbers are around 1.8 million per month in travel. Obviously looking to get those travel dollars back into Australia, and it's also what we spend. We're net spenders when we travel. I think the figure is around $55 billion spent by Australians travelling. We receive about $25 billion, so a net outward trade of around $30 billion there. Shares, a strong April, up around 3% here in Australia. I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. Back over in the US, President Biden's $2 trillion infra spend continues to dominate the headlines. Similar to many countries, they are using infrastructure spend to get things moving again. The corporate tax hikes, is he proposing to increase corporate tax rates from 21 up to the 28%, so unwinding much of the previous administration's work there. The Fed continues to purchase 120 billion of bonds a month, with no real indication of yet when and if or when that will stop. Asia and China, China continues its rebound. We expect growth of around 6% to 6.2% in 2021. So that's it. They're continuing to steamroll ahead. Australia's second biggest trade partner, I should say. In Europe, the UK coming out of lockdown with consumer confidence returning to the highest since March 2020, as you would expect coming out. It's a wait and see to see how they navigate their recovery. Just on markets, go back to Australian markets. Our shares are up just over 3% in April. Similar-ish stories again this month, a bit more up and down. Back in the US, they reached new all-time highs again. Things continue to go up. I think that's on the back of the reopenings, of course, and the vaccination programs, COVID vaccination programs, which are going swimmingly well in the United States. So to give you the numbers on COVID vaccinations, around 4% of the 8 billion people globally are vaccinated fully. 10% of the 8 billion global population have received at least one dose of vaccination. The standouts are Chile, Israel, the UK, and the United States, where about 40% of the population have received one dose, and 20% are fully vaccinated across those four countries. India is a major worry, of course. Their 7-day rolling infection rate was sitting above 350,000 the last I checked. And then just quickly, just on our budget, when was that? Tuesday night this week. Today's Friday, here in an increasingly dark and dank Friday afternoon. We've got some terrible weather coming into Melbourne over the weekend. But the budget, just a couple of things on super. So the minimum income threshold abolished. So if earning less than $450, you can still receive a month. You can still receive super contributions from employers. So it makes sense. It should have been the case always. Lowering the age for downsizer contributions and sales and subsequent inputs into super so down to 60. So that's a good thing. Probably if they really want to see downsizer contributions really utilised, they need to allow greater the amount, I think, to contribute to superannuation. Nonetheless, moving in the right direction. And removing the work test from 67 to 74-year-olds making NCC contributions to super is a good thing. They still have to pass a work test if they are making personal deductible contributions. Housing affordability, there were some mentions of housing affordability in families, social security, aged care throughout the budget, which I won't detail here. Trying to make sure that I do stay under that 5-minute window. Okay, that's it. I'll speak to you all soon. Email me or call me with any questions. See you later, guys.